in the next couple days. All right, so moving on to our next topic at hand. So this actually was translated off of a Russian site, but also I have the Reddit link in here as well. But so last week we talked about that Stalker 2 was announced. Um, but what soon followed afterwards is actually the game is in still in its design phase, so it's not technically announced, and there's a reason behind it. This is off of a Russian site, DTF.ru Games, written by Alexander Lehman. Sergey Gelikin shares details about Stalker 2. The development is at a design document stage. On the air of the 222 editions of the podcast titled How to Make Games, the head of publishing department of Epic Games, Sergey Gelikin, answered questions of listeners, including the upcoming shooter Stalker 2 from GSC. According to Gelikin, the head of GSC, Sergey Govert, I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing the Russian name, announced the game not consulting with anyone. An employee of Epic Games suggested that this was done in front of E3 in order for developers to be able to find a publisher for Stalker 2 at the exhibition, showing the excitement and interest of the public of the latter. Also, want to add a little quick note here. Actually, I need to full screen this. Off of the more details off of the Reddit page as well that was posted is Sergey Gavrigich announced the game without consulting with the team. He wanted to create hype and prove the existence of a public interest to potential publishers. The team consists of people experienced with making first-person shooters, not the same team who did Cossacks 3. All of this comes from Sergey Gavrikhin of Steam Spy, Epic Games fame. Stalker 2 is supposedly being made using Unreal Engine 4 on his podcast. So, this is an interesting story because this is basically somebody saying, like, we want to make Stalker 2, so here is an announcement for the game that's not built yet. This is we're gauging interest to see maybe that there is, but he did it without the team's consent. So it's interesting the fact that this person.
Also, I love that you're not reading the chat.
I know. He said, I know. Meant is spelled misspelled. I will fix that. I know exactly. Well, I'll fix that and you give your thoughts, Greg.
Shit like this happens. It's honestly not the first time that it's happened, but if it is malicious, if he did intentionally announce it just to say fuck you to other companies or the company that he works for, like, that's such a douchebag move. It's such a douchebag move. Like, I get you're not happy. I get you're not exactly excited about that whole thing, but come on, man. Like, really gonna fuck over the company by doing that?
I don't think it was out of spite. I think he just wanted to really push.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to help out.
Yeah. I think it was just a misunderstanding. I'm just saying if it wasn't, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, if it was malicious, that dude's a douche. But I don't think that's the case.
Right. Yeah.
That being said, is there a huge like, I mean, and when I say huge, I'm talking about in the millions fan base for Stalker?
So funny story. I remember seeing this game being shown at E3 a good 2-3 years. And how people were excited about this game for the longest time. It finally came out, and I can't remember exactly what the results or what exactly the response was. But when it came to, is there a following of the game? Yeah, there is, but I don't think it's that big compared to other first-person shooters. Like, I think that there is, if you would compare this to, say, like a Wolfenstein or to a Doom, like it's niche. Like I don't think it's that huge. I'd say if anything, like it's in the thousands, but I don't think it's gonna be in the millions. Hey, we got a fan in the chat actually. Speaking of which,
I mean, there has to be a big enough fan base to warrant a sequel. So I'm not. Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. I'm just curious, like.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going.
I don't know.
I think you're going.
Yeah.
Why did anybody ask for a Stalker 2? Like that is something I thought of too when I first saw the announcements. Like people...
I don't think it matters if people ask for a Stalker 2 as much as um, is there enough people that want to play Stalker 2? That's my thing.
I think
Um,
there's a good amount.
I mean, there has to be because they made a sequel. I mean, that's the long and short of that. And it sounds like the games are quite removed from one another by almost a decade.
Yeah, it's been quite some time since Stalker 2, or not Stalker 2, Stalker and the DLC came out. As we can see here, the graphics are way pretty much dated.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm watching right now. I'm like, it says 2007. If
Yeah.
that's when the first Stalker came out, now help me out if I'm wrong. Did they come out with DLC for the game?
Yes, they did. We're actually, this is one of the DLCs are shown right now on screen. They did have DLC for the game. As far as like how long that lasts, I'm not. Oh, March 2007. Okay, here's an example of one right now. So they definitely had DLC for the game. As far as like how far in supporting that, I'm not quite sure exactly. If I were to guess, I want to say at least a year and a half after the release of Stalker 1. That is my guesstimation. I know we have a fan actually.
Well, Scooge in chat is saying it's fake. The Stalker 2 trailer is fake.
Interesting.
Well,
no, but no.
we gotta look into this a little bit more. I mean, where did you get the article from?
It was translated off a Russian website. Actually, I'll pop it in the.
Oh boy. Well, okay. Did you take it off of that site, or are you saying that this was?
This was on the Our Games Reddit, and this was translated. Well, I translated it myself. On my website.
Oh, this was on Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we needed to do a little bit more research on this than that, because
there isn't DLC, just the 2 other standalone games. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for it, and I'm trying to see if
because
I'm not seeing anything for number 2.
Yeah. Because like the thing about we talked about last week, because like they put out an image saying like, Stalker 2 is happening, and like there was a date, and there was there definitely people talking about it. I do think that there is some valid truth to, especially reading that article, that this may be a case where somebody put out the information after, because the date of the game supposed to be the release for Stalker 2 was in 2021, way far off in the future.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna read something to you real quick, because it says down at the bottom of this list is a sequel. Stalker Clear Sky was the first sequel, and Stalker Call of Pripyat was the third game. Then it says Stalker 2. In May 2008, Sergei Galyolkin, the creator of Steam Spy, tweeted that GSC Game World would create a Stalker 2 using Unreal Engine 4. Shortly, the GSC website mentioned that the company was working on Stalker 2, and a teaser website appeared mentioning the release date of 2021. Many media outlets mentioned the fact the Stalker 2 teaser site was linked by both the company website and the Facebook page.
Okay, so
that's what it says here. This is also Wikipedia, so take that with a grain of salt.
Right. I'm just going off of what has been posted. So don't kill the messenger.
Yeah.
But for the sake of this conversation, and for the sake of like if this was actually true, and if this is indeed what the intentions were of this guy, I think that the guy was heart in the right place. I think that it probably might have caused some trouble if that was the case, but I think his heart was in the right place in terms of like wanting to find a publisher to make this happen, because as I said, it was in the design document stage right now for the game. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't even know that there was 2 other games to Stalker, first and foremost. So that's news right there. But the fact that a Stalker 2, it seems odd considering that the other games were not expansions, not DLC. They were standalone games.
Yeah. Again, this is very. There are fans of the game who like another sequel. But as far as like if it's like the loud outboasting like fans of like Call of Duty status, no, this is like niche, pretty niche. So
Yeah, I mean, arguably, there's a lot of games that get sequels that are also nicher.
that's true. It's
So
very true.
that's a thing. But yeah, we filled in 10 minutes there, so good for us. Pat on our back.
Definitely, definitely. All right, moving on to our next topic. We're talking about PUBG. This was